Pre-lesson 3-2. Title of it is The Slope of a Line. Now, in 3-1, we talked about it, rise over run, so you guys should have a little bit of an idea of what it is generally. But we're going to add a little bit to that today, so don't turn this off. Don't you do it. So here we go. I've got a whole bunch of things that explain what slope is. And the question is, why would I need all of this stuff? Because, as a bow hunter, if I have one arrow and I miss, I'm done. If I've got a bunch of arrows in the quiver, a lot of different strategies, I can just keep flinging them. Sorry about you non-hunters out there, but I thought that'd be a good analogy. So go with it. All right, so slope equals m. When would I ever need that? Well, if you had a math problem and it said y equals 2/3 x plus 1, and it asks you, hey, what's the slope? If you know that this comes from y equals mx plus b, you just go, hey, it's 2/3. My slope is 2/3. I mean, that's spoon-fed. When would I use rise over run? Well, if a problem's like this, and let's say I have something like this, where that point is 2, 2, and maybe I've got a point here, -2, 0, and I've got a line going through that, and the problem says, hey, what's the slope? See, now this is more of a visual image of what slope is. I would start here. Now, by the way, I could start here, but I chose to start here. I'd go like rise, there's my 1, run, remember it's to the right, and rise was positive, because I went up, and to the right, I'd go from -2 to +2, so that's 4. So my run would be 4, and I'd say, hey, my slope is 1/4. Now, I said I could start here, so let me demonstrate. If I started here trying to get here, I would go down 1, so that's -1, and then I would go left 4, so it would be -1 over -4, I'd still get +1/4. All right, there you go. Now, when would I need this? Well, if a problem says, if you have 2 points, 1, 4, and you have another point, I'll just throw this in there, -4, 5. And that's all you got? No visual image? No y equals mx plus b? You've got this formula. Now, what's all this little 2, little 1, little 2, little 1 stuff? See, these are 2 ordered pairs. So I would call this x1, y1, and I would call this x2, y2. Now, what if a different student called that x1, y1, and this x2, y2? It doesn't matter. Remember, from here to here or here back, it doesn't matter. So now we just plug it in the formula. Y sub 2 is 5 minus, that's part of my formula, 4. X sub 2 is -4 minus 1, and that'd be 1 over -5. And that would be my slope. Now, when would this ever work? This is kind of new, I bet. Remember, last lesson, I said ax plus by equals c is considered standard form. So if an equation is given to you in standard form, you can go right from here to this new formula and just say slope would be -a over b. So let me give an example. 3x minus 4y equals 10. The slope, for following this formula, would be the opposite of this. That's what that means. -3 all over whatever b is, -4, and my slope would be 3/4. All right. Quite a few techniques there for whatever's given to you. And now here's some strange ones. And I don't want to bore you, but I do want I want you to memorize something. Let me see how much time I have. Plenty. Okay. So this is weird. If I can remember, if I have a picture, I can go rise, run. This guy, x equals 2. Remember, that means it's going to cross the x-axis right at 2. And if I think about this, rise over run, and I grab, something down here and something up here, And let's just say this is, I'll just guess, 2, -3. And I'll say, I should have put that up a little higher. Let's say this is 2, +3. Well, my rise would be from -3 up to 3, so that'd be 6. My run from here to here is 0. And remember, that is mathematically impossible to have a 0 in the denominator. Why? Well, I mean, you just can't have 0 in the denominator. So this would be considered to have no slope, which I think is the ultimate irony, because I went skiing with some friends one time and they invited me to go down a very steep hill. And this is my memory tool. What should I have said? Just say no. Instead, pride got a hold of me. I went for it and it was a disaster. So that's how I remember this. Vertical line, just say no, slope. Now what about a horizontal line? Well, remember, y equals 2. It's going to go through the y-axis right at 2. And let's pick some random points here. And so I'll just call this -4, 2. And I'll call this 3, 2. Remember what the definition is. It's rise over run. So from here to here, the elevation doesn't change. From 2 to 2, so the rise is 0. From -4 to 3, that'd be 7. Well, what's 0 divided by 7? 0. So this has 0 slope. And if you need a little memory tool and you want to keep thinking skiing, if you ski and it's that flat, you're going to have 0 fun. Sorry, cross-country skiers. I know it's fun. You get a good workout. But as far as the adrenaline rush goes, not happening. So remember, just say no, 0 fun, 0 slow.